Welcome back! My name is ballerscuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1981, and today we're going to talk about Zork II. We talked about the majority of the history of Zork II in our videos on Zork back in 1980. In order to release Zork in 1980, much of what had been programmed had been removed. However, the code was not lost. It was only delayed. Having founded Infocom, Tim Anderson, Marc Blank, Dave Lebling, and Bruce Daniels continued working for the company and continued developing the world of Zork after the original game was released. Zork II, subtitled The Wizard of Frobozz, takes place immediately after the events of the original Zork, now titled Zork I, The Great Underground Empire. So if you haven't seen or played Zork for yourself, now would be the time to do so. Zork II, just like Zork I, is a text-based adventure game. It uses the same engine, the same programming language, and the same controls as the original. Zork II is a true sequel to Zork I. In Zork II, the player begins in the barrow that ended Zork I. The player only has the brass lantern and the elvish sword from the previous game, and the goal of the game is not made clear at first. However, it is not long before the Wizard of Frobozz makes his appearance, and the way forward becomes more apparent. Infocom released Zork II for computers in 1981. Before the popularity of the original game fully reached its peak. And that is the short backstory of Zork II. With that now told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in Zork II, the Wizard of Frobozz. As you can see, this is not the original version of the game. I am once again playing a later version, but really all that's going to mean is a couple fixes here and there and different font, just like we did with the original game. The original version that was released in 1981 is version 7. We're in version 48, which is the version that was released in 1984, and I do believe the latest version. If you do not remember where we were in Zork I, we had collected all of the treasure, put it on our little trophy case, and we headed inside the barrow. That's where we start Zork II. So let's get things underway. Inside the barrow. You are inside an ancient barrow hidden deep within a dark forest. The barrow opens into a narrow tunnel at its southern end. You can see a faint glow at the far end. A strangely familiar brass lantern is lying on the ground. A sort of elvish workmanship is on the ground. Alright, well, let's go ahead and take all of that. We're going to need that brass lantern, which is now called a lamp, and the sword. We're going to need both of those, as I'm sure you might imagine. All right, so let's head out from here. We'll head south to the narrow tunnel. You are standing at the southern end of a narrow tunnel where it opens into a wide cavern. The cavern is dimly illuminated by phosphorescent mosses clinging to its high ceiling. A deep ravine winds through the cavern, with a small stream at the bottom. The walls of the ravine are steep and crumbly. A footbridge crosses the ravine to the south. Well, let's just keep going south then. Footbridge. You are standing on a crude but sturdy wooden footbridge crossing a deep ravine. The path runs north and south from here. Well, we came from the north, so let's just keep going south. This is the center of the great cavern carved out of the limestone. Stalactites and stalagmites of many sizes are everywhere. The room glows with dim light provided by phosphorescent moss, and weird shadows move all around you. A narrow path winds southwest among the stalagmites, and another leads northeast. Well, let's head southwest then, to the shallow ford. You are at the southern edge of a great cavern. To the south, across a shallow ford, is a dark tunnel which looks like it was once enlarged and smooth. To the north, a narrow path winds along among stalagmites. dim light illuminates the cavern. So I can still see, that's always good. Let's head south from here, and I've moved into a dark place. It is pitch black, you are likely to be eaten by a grue. And I believe that I can head southeast out of here, and I will be back in the light, so I don't need to waste any of the lantern right now. There we go, southeast. We've reached the north end of the garden. This is the northern end of a formal garden. Hedges hide the cavern walls, and if you don't look up, the illusion is of a cloudy day outside. The light comes from a large growth of glowing mosses on the roof of the cave. A break in the hedge is almost overgrown to the north. A carefully manicured path leads south. In the center of the rose bed is a small open structure painted white. It appears to be a gazebo. There is a beautiful unicorn eating roses here. Around his neck is a red satin ribbon on which is strung a tiny key. Your sword has begun to glow very brightly. Just kind of came out of nowhere. The unicorn is not always here, but we're not going to do anything about that right now. We can just kind of avoid that. Can I just say enter gazebo? That's where we want to go. There we go, into the gazebo. This is a gazebo in the midst of a formal garden. It is cool and restful here. A tea table adorns the center of the gazebo. Sitting on the table is a matchbook, a china teapot, a placemat, a newspaper, and a letter opener. The sword is glowing with a faint blue glow. We've talked about that in Zork I. When enemies are nearby, it's going to glow because it's elvish, and that's how Tolkien works, really. We want everything in here. Yeah, just take everything. And my sword is no longer glowing. The unicorn bounds lightly away. I guess that's good. Like I said, we didn't want to deal with that right now anyway. What we want to do is leave gazebo. I'm not carrying the gazebo. Exit gazebo? There we go. Apparently they wanted me to just drop the gazebo. That's what they thought I meant. North end of garden. There's a large white animal partly hidden behind some trees. Let's turn on verbose. I didn't realize that was not on. That's going to give me more descriptions. It'll give me a full description every time I'm there, and that will help me a lot as I'm going through this game. To keep track of where I am, this game, I tend to get lost more easily than I have in Zork I. All right. With that done, let's head north. I've moved into a dark place. Sword is no longer glowing. Northeast should save me from that. If you do a move in the dark place and you're still in the dark place, you will be eaten by a grue. So careful about that, I guess. Back to the shallow ford. We're going to then fill teapot. I think that is all I have to say. There we go. The teapot is now full of water. Let's go south and southeast. Back to the north end of the formal garden. Then we can head south from here into the formal garden. This is the middle part of a formal garden. Hedges hide the cavern walls, and a dim illumination comes from mosses far above. The path is of small crushed white stones. It winds among bushes and flower beds from south to north. To the north is a small structure. To the north, a small structure can be seen. To the south are peculiarly shaped bushes. There is a small gap in the hedges in the west. Well, I think I want to go south again here to the topiary. This is the southern end of a formal garden. Hedges hide the cavern walls, and mosses provide dim illumination. Fantastically shaped hedges and bushes are arrayed with geometric precision. They have not been recently clipped, but you can discern creatures in the shapes of the bushes. There is a dragon, a unicorn, a great serpent, a huge misshapen dog, and several human figures. On the west side of the garden, the path leads through a rose arbor into a tunnel. So from here, I want to go west into, that rose arbor. You have moved into a dark place. I would like descriptions, but we're going to have to turn on lantern. The lamp is now on, and we're in the carousel room. You are in a large circular room whose high ceiling is lost in gloom. 8 identical passages leave the room. A loud whirring sound comes from all around, and you feel sort of disoriented in here. This is where things start getting bad for you. The best way for me to put it is basically that the room is spinning. It's a carousel, so it spins. As a result, we are going to save, and we're going to call it Zork I. Zork II 1. How about that? Just to be safe. Don't want to override any of my old saves. Not that I think I need them anymore. Save. Actually, I should drop all except lantern and teapot. Are they going to let me do that? They are. And then I should save after that. There we go. You notice that I still don't have any score. We'll get there. We will get the score eventually. Okay. Basically, because the room is spinning, there is a chance that I won't go where I want to go. I want to go to the southeast. I believe. Yeah, southeast. And if I don't get where I want to go, I'm just going to restore the save and try again. Because getting back in and trying, it just makes a hassle. So this is the easiest way to kind of deal with this randomness. Southeast, and I'm not sure which direction is which. This room is very disorienting. And I have arrived at the path near the stream, which is not what I wanted to do. Zork II 1. And then we'll try southeast again. This time we're in the cobwebby corridor. Also not where I wanted to be. Southeast again. Cobwebby corridor. Let's try it again. There we go. You're not sure which direction is which. This room is very disorienting. But we have wound up where I wanted to go. And that is the riddle room. This is a room which is bare on all sides. There is an exit down in the northwest corner of the room. To the east is a great closed door made of stone. Above the stone, the following words are written. No man shall pass this door without solving this riddle. What is tall as a house, round as a cup, and all the king's horses can't draw it up? I feel like there's a couple solutions to this one. Like there could be a tower. Like if it's a round tower, that would also work. Minarets would work in the same vein. But what they're looking for is a well. That's what the answer is here. There is no say. Oh wow. Say well. Say oh well. There we go. That's what we need to do. Jeez. I have to actually put the quotes. I didn't realize that. I don't think those count as moves, but hey, I actually got some score now. There is a deafening clap of thunder and the stone door quietly swings open to reveal a passageway beyond. And we've done like something. We have accomplished something here. We have opened the way forward, I should say. Let's head east to the Pearl Room. This is a former broom closet. The exits are to the east and west. There is a pearl necklace here with hundreds of large pearls. We're going to ignore that for now and head east again to the circular room. This is a damp circular room whose walls are made of brick and mortar. The roof of this room is not visible, but there appear to be some etchings on the walls. There is a passageway to the west. There is a wooden bucket here, 3 foot in diameter and 3 feet high. We're going to enter the bucket. It's a big bucket I can fit. You are now in the wooden bucket. Hooray! I feel good. Pour water. All right, there is now a puddle in the bottom of the wooden bucket. The bucket rises and comes to a stop. And we've made it to the top of the well in the wooden bucket. You're at the top of the well. Well done. There are etchings on the side of the well. There is a small crack across the floor at the entrance to a room on the east, but it can be crossed easily. The wooden bucket contains a quantity of water, just an unknown quantity, probably about a teapot full, but maybe that's just me. Let's get out, leave, exit, right? We learned this before. Exit the bucket. You're on your own feet again. And then we can head east. And that takes us to the tea room again. Well, not again, I should say. It takes us to the tea room. This is a small room containing a large oblong table, no doubt set for afternoon tea. It is clear from the objects on the table that the users were indeed mad. In the eastern corner of the room is a small hole, no more than 4 inches high. There are passageways leading away to the west and the northwest. There is a large oblong table here. Sitting on the large oblong table is a cake frosted with green letters. Then we have red, orange, and blue letters on other cakes. If you did not catch the reference, this is a reference to Alice in Wonderland, both the book and the film, the Disney film. There's lots of films. They're probably just referencing the Disney film, but the book might also be a part of it. So what happens? The orange cake, if you eat it, it will blow you up. The red one, if you eat it, it will suck you dry. That results in death. Then the green one will shrink you. And the blue one will make you big. We are going to take some of these, even though they might make things bad for me. We want to take, how do I put this? I think I can just call it red cake. Yes. And take blue cake. There we go. Those will help me there. Even though just the letters are that color, you can call them that color. We will eat the green cake. Suddenly, the room appears to have become very large, although everything you are carrying seems to be its normal size. We're in the posts room. This is an enormous room, in the center of which are 4 wooden posts, delineating a rectangular area, above which is what appears to be a wooden roof. In fact, all objects in this room appear to be abnormally large. To the east is a passageway. There are large gaping chasms to the west and northwest. So, just like in Alice in Wonderland, we need to shrink. At least Alice got notes. We had to guess. But that's what saves are for. We didn't need to use them this time. We will head east to the pool room. This is a large room, one half of which is depressed. Salty water flows from a large leak in the ceiling. The only exit is to the west. A stoppered glass flask with a skull and crossbones marking is here. The flask is filled with some clear liquid. The leak has submerged the depressed area in a pool of tears. There's a hazy something at the deepest part of the pool. We're going to throw the red cake into the pool. Most of the pool evaporates, revealing a slightly damp but still valuable package of rare candies. The red cake must be pretty strong stuff since it remains intact. We're going to get rare candies. And then I think we're going to go west, back to the post room, and we're going to eat the blue cake. I think that's all we really needed were those rare candies. And now we're back where we need to be. And then there is the orange cake there. What we need to do is head northwest from here to find a low room. You're in a circular room with a low ceiling. There are exits to the east and north and southeast. There's a green piece of paper here. There's a robot here. We got robots now. That does sound good to me. I think I can just command him. Say, robot, east. We can just command the robot and make him go where I want to go. I don't think I have to do anything special for that. You must address the robot directly. Robot east, like that? No. Without the quotes. Robot east. Yeah, in this game, some of the controls aren't as clean as I remember Zork I being, but eventually you get the hang of it, hopefully. Word is click. Word buzz click. The robot leaves the room. That's the important part. Read green paper. There we go. This is what actually explains it. Frobozz Magic Robot Company. Hello, Master. I'm a late model robot trained at GUE Tech to perform various simple household functions. To activate me, say the following: robot things to do. At your service. GUE stands for Grand Underground Empire, or Great Underground Empire. It's the subtitle of the first game. Okay, so once that is done, we can follow the robot east to the machine room. This is a large room full of assorted heavy machinery whirring noisily. The room smells of burned resistors. Along one wall are 3 buttons, which are respectively round, triangular, and square. Naturally, above these buttons are instructions written in EBCDIC. A large sign in English above all the buttons says, "Danger! High voltage!" There are exits to the west and the south. There's a robot here. Danger, high voltage indeed. So once we go here, we're going to have robot, push triangular button. Because hopefully the high voltage won't kill him the way that it would us. Word buzz click. A dull thump is heard in the distance. And I think we've done something good. What we've actually done is stop the carousel room from spinning. That will make things easier for us. Notice that our score is now up to 30. I like that. Then we want the robot to go south and follow it myself. And then we can find the dingy closet. This is a dingy closet adjacent to a larger room to the north. Chiseled into a wall are these words: protected by Frobozz Magic Alarm Company. Hello, footpad. There doesn't seem to be any footpad here, however. There is a robot here. There is a beautiful red crystal sphere here. I'm going to take that sphere. It sounds lovely. As you reach for the sphere, a solid steel cage falls from the ceiling to entrap you. To make matters worse, poisonous gas starts coming into the room. Cage. You are trapped inside a solid steel cage. That was probably not the smartest thing for me to do, but that is what we are going to do. And then we're going to say robot, lift cage. The cage shakes and is hurled across the room. It's hard to say, but the robot appears to be smiling. All right, well, we did something. Now we can get the sphere. And there's no trap now. Hooray! Let's go north, back to the machine room, and west. As you enter, your compass starts spinning wildly. What compass, you ask? The one which allows you to specify compass directions for movement. And we're in the low room. You're in a circular room with a low ceiling. There are exits to the east and southeast. So we're going to save again. Zork II. And hopefully we can get where we want to go, which is southeast. Nope, that's not it. Restore Zork II. Southeast. To the tea room. You cannot get your bearings, but I made it anyway, and that is what is important. Once we made it there, we want to go west, and we want to enter the bucket again. Now, I forgot what is the command to get the stuff in here. What we want to do is take water. There we go. The teapot is now full of water. The bucket descends and comes to a stop, and we're back in the circular room. Yeah, take water. That's apparently what we needed to do. I don't know, that one doesn't make all the sense in the world to me. Then we can exit the bucket. Actually, let's drop the teapot. And then we will exit the bucket. We're on our own feet again, which is good. Then we can head west, and we can make it to the pearl room. We're going to take that necklace now. It would help if I could type properly. Then we can go west to the riddle room, and northwest back to the carousel room. Hey, there's a matchbook saying visit Zork I here. I don't think we ever actually looked at that, but that is something. Can I read the newspaper? What does it say here? U.S. News and Dungeon Report. That's a play on U.S. News and World Report. Famed adventurer to explore great underground empire. Our correspondents report that a world-famous and battle-hardened adventurer has been seen in the vicinity of the great underground empire. Local grooves have been reported sharpening their slavering fangs. Zork II, The Wizard of Frobozz, was written by Dave Lebling and Marc Blank, and is copyright all those years by Infocom Incorporated. Now, those two were kind of the main ones to work on this game, but everybody kind of pitched in because of reasons that we've talked about before. Do I need anything else from here? I don't think that I actually need anything else. The matchbook. Oh, there's a dented steel box. That is what I need. Let's take the steel box. Your load is too heavy. Drop all except... what do I have? I don't have much, do I? Drop all except lantern. The newspaper, the pearl necklace, the red crystal sphere, the green piece of paper, and the package of candy. Sure. Take steel box again. And we have the steel box on us. Now what I need to do is open box. Opening the steel box reveals a fancy violin. I'll probably need that. We'll take that. And I got some points. I mean, we're getting some points now. What do I want from here? I want the sword, the mat, and a letter opener. My load is too heavy for most of this. All right, drop metal box and violin. Take mat and... I don't have that. Drop metal box, violin. How about that? Drop metal box. Drop violin. Drop. A strange little man in a long cloak appears suddenly in the room. He is wearing a high-pointed hat embroidered with astrological signs. He has a long, stringy, and unkempt beard. Hung out here too long, apparently. The wizard draws forth his wand and waves it in your direction. It begins to glow with a faint blue glow. The wizard, in a deep and resonant voice, speaks the word fumble. He cackles gleefully. Oops, you dropped the sword. I didn't think I had the sword. Oh no, I did pick it up. Take sword, mat, and letter opener. I can't take the mat? What am I still holding on to? Drop steel box. Yeah, the wizard, it's going to be fine. All right, take placemat. Take mat. Oh, the game's not agreeing with me today. Okay. Let's head north and get out of this room. All right, we made it to the marble hall. I have all the things that I need. I didn't need anything else. That was really starting to bother me there. This is an arched hall of fine marble. The marble stops abruptly to the north at a ford across a stream where the marble is cracked and broken. Perhaps a flood or collapse of the cave was responsible. To the south, the hall opens into a large room. There's a rather annoying whirring sound coming from that room. I do have everything that I need, right? I do. There's a square brick here which feels like clay. What? Are you feeling every brick in the room? Let's head north to the deep ford. You are fording the stream at a deep but not impossible spot. The water is very cold. The walls of the ravine rise to east and west. There is a small ledge along the north wall of the ravine. To the south is the entrance to a well-constructed but somewhat ruined hall. Let's head north from here to the legend ravine. Sorry, I thought that I was going to be in a different room, but one more, and then we'll be there. You are on a narrow ledge near the bottom of a deep ravine. The ledge continues to the west. A precarious climb up to another tiny ledge is possible. A short scramble down the rock face leads to a stream. All right, let's head up from here to the tiny room. This is where I wanted to go. This is a tiny room carved out of the wall of the ravine. There is an exit down a precarious climb. On the north side of the room is a massive wooden door, which has a small window barred with iron. A formidable bolt lock is set within the door frame. A keyhole covered by a thin metal lid lies within the lock. All right, we want to put mat under door. The placemat fits easily under the door. Then we want to open the lid. The lid is now open. Put letter opener in keyhole. There's a faint noise from behind the door and a small cloud of dust rises from beneath it. And pull mat. As the placemat is moved, a rusty iron key falls from it and onto the floor. In case you didn't basically follow what we were doing there, what we did is we put the mat down, kind of slid it under, used the letter opener and pushed the iron key out. It fell on the mat. We then pulled the mat back, and now we have the key. These are, of course, things that would take a long time to figure out, if ever, if you're playing the game without any sort of guide or for the first time and not know what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to take the key and the letter opener. Then we're going to unlock the door. Really? Unlock door with key. I shouldn't have to specify that. That should be fine. Then we can drop key and letter opener. We had to actually remove the letter opener from the door, which is why we had to do it. Okay, open door. North. To the dreary room. This is a small and rather dreary room, eerily illuminated by a red glow emanating from a crack in one wall. The light falls upon a dusty wooden table in the center of the room. On the south side of the room is a massive wooden door, which has a small window barred with iron. A formidable bolt lock is set within the door frame. A keyhole lies within the lock. In the center of the table sits a blue crystal sphere. We're going to take that. Hooray! So now we have a red one and a blue one. We'll just probably call them Ruby and Sapphire at some point. Let's head south from here to the tiny room. Then we can head down, west. Is this new? I think this is new. End of ledge? A ledge from the east ends here and a tunnel leads north into the wall. There is a rather odd smoky odor in the warm air of the tunnel. Your sword is glowing with a faint blue glow. It might just be new because there's something here, and that's why I think that something is bad. Let's head... Where do I want to head from here? Now I'm a little worried. No, we want to go north from here to the dragon room. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this. The room is a large cavern full of broken stone. The walls are scorched and there are deep scratches on the floor. A sooty, dry smell is very strong here. A paved path winds from the large passage to the west, through the room, and across a huge stone bridge to the south. To the east, a small crack is visible. A dark and smoky tunnel leads north. A huge red dragon is lying here, blocking the entrance to a tunnel leading north. Smoke curls from his nostrils and out between his teeth. Your sword has begun to glow very brightly, because there's a dragon, and that's probably bad. Let's go ahead and save. It would help if I had my fingers aligned right, too. Zork II, 3. Attack dragon with sword. Dragon hide is tough as steel, but you have succeeded in annoying him a bit. He looks at you as if deciding whether or not to eat you. The dragon continues to watch you carefully. Let's head south from here. It's probably not good that I've annoyed him. To the stone bridge. This is the middle of a ruined but still impressive stone bridge, spanning a deep chasm. Water flows far beneath. A paved path leads north into a large open space. To the south, the path leads into a misty tunnel. The dragon follows you out of mingled curiosity and anger. Oh, those are a good combination for him to have. What we want to do is attack the dragon with sword. Dragon hide is tough as steel, but you have succeeded in annoying him a bit. He looks at you as if deciding whether or not to eat you. The dragon continues to watch you carefully. This is not smart, but it's what we're going to do. We're going to head south to the cool room. The room is cool and damp. The air is misty. A twisty path from the southeast splits here towards a wide northerly stone bridge and a narrow westerly tunnel. It is from the latter that the mist and chill seem to originate. The dragon follows you out of mingled curiosity and anger. We're going to attack the dragon with the sword. Dragon hide is tough as steel, but you have succeeded in annoying him a bit. He looks as if deciding whether or not to eat you. The dragon continues to watch you carefully. Let's head west. And we've made it to the ice room. This is a large hall of ancient lava, since worn smooth by the movement of a glacier. A large passage exits to the east, and an upward lava tube is at the top of a jumble of fallen rocks. A mass of ice fills the western half of the room. As the dragon enters, he sees his reflection on the icy surface of the glacier at its western end. He becomes enraged. There is another dragon here, behind that glass, he thinks. Dragons are smart, but sometimes naive, and this one has never seen ice before. He rears up to his full height to challenge this intruder into his territory. He roars a challenge. The intruder responds. The dragon takes a deep breath, and out of his mouth pours a massive gout of flame. It washes over the ice, which melts rapidly, sending out torrents of water and a huge cloud of steam. You manage to clamber up to a small shelf, but the dragon is terrified. A huge splash goes down his throat. There is a muffled explosion, and the dragon, a puzzled expression on his face, dies. He is carried away by the water. We did it? When the flood recedes, you climb gingerly down. While no trace of the dragon can be found, the melting of the ice has revealed a passage leading west. Your sword is no longer glowing. We did it! That's weird. We're going to drop the sword, and then we're going to head east to the cool room, and then north a few times here. We need to go to the dragon's lair, which is one more north. There we go. Dragon's lair. You are in the dragon's lair, where the rock walls are scarred by flame. A blackened doorway leads to the south. A rotten old wooden chest is in one corner among the debris. A beautiful young woman wearing a dirty and bedraggled gown sits on a rock in the corner. Her hair is unkempt, and she is oblivious to your presence, almost in a trance. I'm not entirely sure how she could not see me, but that's okay. We're going to open the chest. The hinges are very rusty, but they seem to be starting to give. You can probably open it if you try again. There is something bumping around inside. All this rummaging around has startled the young woman. The princess, for she is obviously one, shakes herself awake, then notices you for the first time. She smiles. "Thank you for rescuing me from that horrid worm," she says. "I must depart. My parents will be worried about me." With that, she arises, lurking purposely out of the lair. But I want what's in the chest. Open the chest. The rotten wooden chest opens. Nestled in the chest is a wrought gold statuette of a dragon. The princess walks south. She glances back at you as she goes. Well, let's go ahead and take that statuette. We will worry about the princess some other time. Once there, we will head south to the dragon room and then east to the end of ledge. East again to the ledge and ravine. South from here, and I think this is the first new one. No, we have made it back to the deep ford. You are fording the stream at a deep but not impossible spot. The water is very cold. The walls of the ravine rise to east and west. There's a small ledge along the north wall of the ravine. To the south is the entrance to a well-constructed but somewhat ruined hall. A huge dead dragon is lying half blocking the stream. Hooray! I did it. Alright, well. Then we need to head south again to the marble hall. This is an arched hall of fine marble. The hall stops abruptly to the north at a ford across a stream where the marble is cracked and broken. Perhaps a flood or collapse of the cave was responsible. To the south, the hall opens into a large room. There's a rather annoying whirring sound coming from that room. There's a square brick here, which feels like clay. Now, I thought at this point... South, east, east, south, south. Yep, I thought that the princess was going to be here. Can I just do it myself? Push brick. Pushing the brick has no effect. Now, I thought that the princess was going to be here, and I don't like that she's not. South again. Can I just head where I need to go? I need to go east. There's a wall there. I know, but the brick, like, it's very obvious what is supposed to happen here. But it's not happening for me right now, and I'm not happy about that. Let's go, like, did I do this wrong? North, north. West, west. I feel like I did something wrong here. Let's head east again to the Legend Ravine. South. Can I go east again? No. South. South. And I thought that this was where it was supposed to be. Can I go south again? To the carousel room. That's not going to help. Yeah, I'm a little lost here, so... Hold on. Oh, there's a Stradivarius. That's what the violin is. Hold on while I try to figure out what I need to do with the marble hall here and the princess that does not want to show up. All right, I have seen what the problem that I encountered was. I let the princess get one screen too far away from me, and therefore bad things happened. And I lost her, and I wasn't able to follow her even though she should have gone that way anyway. So I am in the dragon's lair right now, as you can see at the top. I have tested a few things. It's going to work. What I need to do is take the chest instead of trying to open it a couple times. I can try to open it here now, and that will wake up the princess. The hinges are very rusty, but they seem to be starting to give. You can probably open it if you try again. There's something bumping around inside. All this rummaging around has startled the young woman. The princess, for she is obviously one, shakes herself awake, then notices you for the first time. She smiles. "Thank you for rescuing me from that horrid worm," she says. "I must depart. My parents will be worried about me." With that, she arises, lurking purposely out of the lair. Okay, so we're going to try to open the chest again. Then she will actually leave. I can see that there's the gold statuette of a dragon in there, but we're not going to take it yet because taking it lets her go too far. That's why I took the chest first, so that I have it on me, so that even though it's open, I'm just carrying around an open chest and I can grab the stuff later. Logistics. Let's follow her south. The princess walks south. She glances back at you as she goes. Let's head south. Back to the dragon room. Nothing new here. She hasn't gone, though. There is a disheveled and slightly unkempt princess here. Your sword has begun to glow very brightly, but I don't know why. I'm going to take the statuette. The princess walks east. She glances back at you as she goes. Your sword is glowing with a faint blue glow. You could have also waited, but I figured I was going to be taking the statuette at some point anyway, so I might as well take it when she's not moving. Let's head east to the end of the ledge. I keep on wanting to say the edge of the ledge, but it's the end of the ledge. She just keeps on going east, so I'll follow her east. She climbs down, so let's follow her down to the deep ford. She walks south. She glances back at you as she goes, so let's head south. And now we're in the marble hall, which is where I wanted to be before, but it didn't work. There's a disheveled and slightly unkempt princess here. There's a square brick here, which feels like clay. The princess presses a loose piece of marble in the wall, and a large section of the wall slides away, revealing a passage to the east. She enters it. We'll follow her there to the path near the stream. The path follows the south edge of a deep ravine and heads northeast. The tunnel leads southwest, narrowing to a rather tight crawl. A faint whirring sound can be heard in that direction. On the east is a ruined archway choked with vegetation. There is a disheveled and slightly unkempt princess here. She walks east. She glances back at you as she goes. We'll follow her. Back to the formal garden. No surprises that this was hers. She's not doing anything, so I'm going to drop the chest. All right, this time she walked north. She glances back at you as she goes. So let's head north to the north end of the garden. She has entered the gazebo, so let's enter the gazebo ourselves. All right, there is a disheveled and slightly unkempt princess here. Your sword has begun to glow very brightly. I'm just kind of ignoring that for now. There's not much that we could do about it anyway. What we need to do, though, is turn our lantern off. And then we can wait here. There we go. It takes a couple times. It's random. But we need that unicorn to show up. Time passes. Shyly, a unicorn peeks out of the hedges. It notices the princess and seems captivated. It approaches her and bows its head as though curtsying to her. Around its neck is a red satin ribbon on which is strung a delicate gold key. The princess takes the ribbon and uses it to tie up her hair. She looks at you and then, smiling, hands you the key and a fresh rose, which she plucks from the arbor. You may have use of such a thing, she says. It is the least I can do for one who rescued me from a fate I dare not contemplate. With that, she mounts the unicorn, side saddle, of course, and rides off into the gloom. Your sword is no longer glowing. So now we have the key and we have the rose. The way that she phrased it makes it sound like the rose is important here. It is not. But we do need that key. And now, this is a good stopping spot for me. We are roughly about halfway through the game, I would say. So we will pick up from here next time. And that will do it for this part of Zork II. I've been ballerscuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you laughed. I hope you learned. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.